We're live.
Oh, you gotta give me a second. I'm starting to watch party.
It's too late. We're live.
Oh, fuck. Fine.
We're doing it live.
Fine. We'll do it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Don't Be Mad podcast, your weekly dose of I'm healthy. You're welcome. I'm your boy, Matthew, aka Lefty Lucky, and I'm joined here as always with
Jamali.
And Monsieur Jason.
And yeah, we are all here. We got Tyler chilling in the back. We got Jason's girlfriend chilling in the back too, but she's hiding. Though I'm expecting her to just pop in every now and then and give him a smooch on the forehead. Let him know that he's doing a good job. Feel free to do it anytime, Christina, especially when the camera's on him. Make him feel nice and comfortable. You know, like he's at home.
Christina won't be on camera.
I feel so good, guys. Last week I was feeling a bit down and my energy was low because I felt like I just caught something like while I was here and it really just threw me off a bit. But
All them hoes you be touching.
It could be. It could be, man. Shit. You know what? Jamal, you might be onto something. Like the hoes you texting right now. Who knows? But nah, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better. How was your week? How's the mental health, gentlemen?
Jeremiah looks disturbed.
I'm good.
Text her after.
Disturbed with what?
I'm asking the question.
Not even your main one. Shit.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing like that. I just said you're disturbed.
I'm energized, baby. How's your week? How's the mental health, bro?
I guess the doctor said you were cleared, I guess. Your test came back negative or what?
Oh, all negatives across, all X's across the board.
That's good, man.
Are you going to answer the question or not? Jesus.
I'm very good, man. I'm very good. Just chilling. It was a good week.
I see you're sipping ginger tea. You said you needed it for the nerves. What's going on, man?
Not for the nerve, bro. I just needed to sip on my tea, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, because usually when people sip ginger tea, it's like, sore throat or they're feeling a little bit sick.
Nah,
but
I just like
But you said it was for your nerves, so I just want to make sure everything's good. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good, Matthew. Thank you for that.
Joy's face. You should see that. I'm going to use that as the thumbnail for the thing. This face is priceless.
Jamali hates it when I'm energized.
Pause, bro.
What are you pausing?
All this guys in this.
What was gay about that? Jesus, Jamali, man. You're so obvious. Jason,
What?
how about you? How's your week? How's the mental
Obvious
health?
about what?
You had your chance.
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Mental health is fine.
It's good.
Yeah, just
like to hear.
looking for a place to live.
The hunt's going well?
Yeah, we found something, but we're not sure yet. So.
Is it the same place you were telling us about before?
Yeah.
Oh,
Same place.
man, yeah. I hope you get it because that place, like, personally, from, like, the things I like to see in a house, like, I thought it was a really nice place.
Just make sure you wipe Matthew down with Lysol before you walks in there.
You would like that, huh?
Pause, bro. I'm not.
You would like that.
Not at all.
You're nasty, man. You want to see him wipe me down with Lysol? Look at you nasty motherfucker.
Whoa!
You are disgusting, Jamali.
You spray him, bro.
You are nasty.
Spray him.
As for myself, like I said, last week I was feeling a little bit sick, but I made it through, man. Wednesday, I actually had like a crazy fucking fever. So, all that making fun of and joking around you're doing last week.
Bro, you've been
Fuck
suffering.
you, motherfucker.
You've been suffering from jungle fever, bro. What are you talking about?
Whoa.
You've been
Jamali.
suffering from that.
Jungle fever. Chill. What is up with you?
This dude called you straight up African.
Using such derogatory terminology to speak to a fellow brother.
I don't know.
You should be
about
ashamed
that.
of yourself.
I don't know if you're.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Plus, wanting Jason to wipe me down with Lysol. You're on one today.
You guys are sick people. Sick people. Sick.
Yo, you're the one making the sick joke, so I don't know why.
It's gonna be
we're
that
the sick
type of
ones.
episode, everyone. It's gonna be that type of episode.
No. We got some serious stuff we want to.
We do. We got some topics in the tuck, but we gotta lighten the mood a bit. Bring us into the space. Somehow get Jamali to stop texting 1, 2, or 3. I'm not sure which one it is.
I'm not texting anybody.
Are you sure?
Can't promise you, but yeah.
You can't. Yo, Jason, look over his shoulder.
I can't see
how
from
quick he
this.
hit that shit.
I can't see it from this side.
Y'all need to stay out of my phone, bro.
Yo, we're trying to get you off your phone so you can engage.
I'm well engaged.
Are you? To which one?
Funny.
All right. Where do you guys want to start? Should we start with some sports? Give our weekly update on how shit all of our teams are.
Yeah,
Well, actually, no. Your team, Jamal's team,
Barely
did.
won.
A win
It's a
is
win.
a win. You know what?
I agree.
I gotta eat some crow because last week I was chopping up some jokes about Danny Dimes.
And he,
The fact that they gave him a nickname and he hadn't even done anything. And you know what? My foot's in my mouth.
he came out swinging.
First rookie to come out, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rush touchdowns, put the team on his back when Saquon went down, which, by the way, I said week 5 he was going to get injured.
Bro, me and you had this conversation
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago. And I said, I will be surprised if he passed week 5.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that, I'm not happy that this happened.
No, not at all.
But at the same time, it's like just the way they were working him, not surprised that it happened,
No, not at all.
But-
Blame Eli.
How are you blaming Eli?
Eli wasn't even playing.
I'm just saying, if they would have cut
You
Eli,
blame the offensive coordinator for running a guy through the ground.
if you cut Eli at the beginning of the season, that's money for the offensive line. That's what I'm saying.
Point is, he got hurt, unfortunately, but they're saying what? He's going to be out a month?
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, a month, maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
Really sucks, but you know what? At the same time,
It could be worse.
exactly. It could have been a lot worse. He's in a boot. You saw him hopping across the field faster than most people can run.
There you go. Faster than Phillip Rivers.
We'll get there.
And we didn't get
Hopefully
him
he
there.
gets a speedy
He needs to
recovery.
change his name to Philip Stream because he ain't really running nothing like
You
a
see,
Rivers.
that's the bitterness of Jamal. He knows as soon as Daniel Jones comes out, he's going to be back into depression with his mentally challenged quarterback, as you claim them to be, not me. That's your words.
Eli suffered from CTE.
Look, Eli did not play this week. We don't have to talk about him.
I know.
Big up Daniel Jones. Like I
He
said,
did what?
foot's in my mouth.
Is it me? But he really looks like Eli's younger brother.
He does. There was actually a picture that came out when Danny Jones was younger and he was wearing an Eli jersey with his boys. And now he took over his job. It's actually kind of comical to see this happen. But no, man, he went out there, he put on an amazing performance, man. I can't knock him. But at the same time, it's 1 week against the Bucks. I felt like it was a good litmus test for him.
Oh, for sure. By no means. I think it doesn't dictate. I think it's a good rhythm for him to have.
Yeah.
And I see great potential in my Giants in the next couple of years. If he stays healthy and, we get key pieces, I think we will be in the running.
And on top of it, unless Jason, you want to interject or?
No, go ahead.
Like, I look at it like, considering when the draft happened, everybody laughed about it, myself included. The way Gettleman was talking about him, we were just like, the tapes that were available of him he was a decent looking quarterback, nothing exceptional, but I feel like for him to come out and do that, to really just kind of put the 2 birds up like he's Stone Cold and give an F you to everybody that doubted him, personally, I hope he keeps it up.
Oh, most definitely. I think he will.
And I think it's a high tail to expect him to do another performance like that, another 4 touchdown game, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. But if he can just go out there, protect the ball, he doesn't have to give you 300, 400 yards a game, but, just do your job as far as making smart decisions, keep the offense moving, take pressure off your defense. He'll be all right. And I think the Giants will be all right moving forward.
Oh, most definitely we're going to be all right.
So,
Your Broncos didn't have a good...
they had a decent game,
yeah.
but they lost, which is expected. Nothing shocking on my end about this loss.
But I was looking closely. Flacco, is he?
When it comes to Flacco,
I feel like when it comes to him, is it me? But he either, if he's looking at the short route, that's all he's looking at. He's not able to look downfield and look at the short route. Like, it's just like he's focused on one thing and that's it.
Well, that's the thing. That's been his game literally since that Super Bowl win. Like, I don't know what the expectations were for Elway when he brought Flacco in, thinking he was going to get this like new burst of life, when the last 4 or 5 seasons, what we've seen of him has been a guy who isn't really going down the field much. He hasn't been making like dynamic calls at the line. He's pretty much just been a status quo quarterback.
Right.
So
Because
the 3 weeks we've had him on our team playing this season, has been the same guy that essentially got taken over by Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Like nothing is shocking about this.
It's the same thing from with the Giants and Eli Manning. The defense made them look really good.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Russell Wilson. It's the same thing too.
Well, no, Russell, I can give him the credit of he's a guy who, one, for whatever reason, the Seahawks never gave this guy a proper O-line.
Defense, though. Defense was
defense,
killer.
was incredible. But understand, when you actually look at Russell Wilson, he makes good decisions, especially when he has to extend the plays the way he has to, scrambling out of the pocket and still making accurate, deep balls. Like, there aren't many people like Russell Wilson who is able to do that. You know, like you have like Aaron Rodgers when he was like prime Aaron Rodgers was a guy who was able to do that as well. You know, like aren't many like that.
The difference I could say with Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson is, Aaron Rodgers could win you the game by himself. Russell Wilson can't do that. He can't do it. I don't think he could win you the game by himself.
Aaron Rodgers can't win you a game by himself.
Aaron Rodgers has been winning games by himself.
Like to Russell's credit, we've actually seen him go out there and will it. Like he's won games on his arm, on his legs.
But last week's game, he played almost like what you're describing.
You know, like he's not a guy who's gone out there and literally just thrown games away.
No, but what I'm saying is that he won't lead you back 20 down to win the game like Rodgers can. And we've seen Rodgers do it many times.
But and that's the thing. It's like comparing the two. Like Rodgers is just one of those special quarterbacks. Like for the last 4 or 5 seasons, maybe 6, we've been comparing him, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees as the 3 best in the league.
Right now, yeah.
And rightfully so, because these are guys that we know are just on a level where it's like once the 4th quarter hits, if they're within 3 touchdowns, it's a winnable game.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know, like there aren't many quarterbacks in the league outside of those 3 that you can really justifiably say that and everybody looking at you like, yeah, you know what, it's possible. You know, like we've seen Tom Brady do it in the Super Bowl. We've seen, like, we call Aaron Rodgers like Hail Mary Rodgers. Like, these are guys who've done it. Drew Brees,
same thing.
Like, you give him the ball, like he can make you go 80 yards down the field in less than 30 seconds. Like it's nothing to him.
Yep.
Well,
now your Chargers.
We ain't gotta talk about that.
Like, show some respect.
For what?
For the fact that his Chargers went out there and once again lost by a touchdown or less.
Oh, you mean Rivers did his signature move at the? Oh, my bad.
It's all right. We're just getting the
breaking my heart in fantasy football.
We're just getting the bad games out the way. That's all it is.
Oh, right.
Just the bad games out the way.
Right.
That's how it was the same thing last year.
2 to 3 weeks to get these bad games out the way before I'm going to start talking trades. Because this can't run.
Yo, he's been getting bad games out of the way for the past 9 seasons.
This dude's a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Jamal, let me ask you a question.
What?
If Phillip Rivers was on the Giants and he stayed when he got drafted, how many Super Bowls do you think the Giants are winning with Phillip Rivers with that defense?
None.
You're a liar and you know it. You're a liar and you know it.
Hey.
Because a bigger Giants fan, you know what Wolf said? He said at least 3. At least 3 Super Bowls if Rivers had stayed.
We got 2, so it's okay.
That's not enough.
Hey, Rivers ain't got none. So
It's no,
Rivers
your
ain't got
defense.
shit.
Your defense got 2. Your defense got 2.
We can talk about ifs
Rivers
and
is more like
buts
the Dead Sea,
and
bro.
hypotheticals and things that are of fantasy. Right now, we just got to look at the fact that I need your boy, and I know you got the email, the hotline. Talk to him. Tell him to do better, please, for me. For me.
What do you mean? He's putting up points for you in fantasy.
Not enough.
What do you mean not enough? 30-something points in fantasy is not enough?
That was week 1.
That was last week.
No.
By whose standards?
I have him in fantasy.
I don't know what point system you guys or what essential bonuses you guys going out there, but he was 19 points.
You guys play in the little
by standard.
We play in the big boy leagues when it comes to fantasy. We use defensive players.
Throwing a bunch of bonuses out there isn't big boy league.
It's not bonus.
Okay.
That's how it is. That's real fantasy.
Just barely scraped 19 points.
Wow, I don't know what fantasy league you play in. Do you play with defensive players?
No. Fuck it.
Well, there you go.
It's a
That's not
waste of
fantasy
time.
league. That's not fantasy league to me.
Okay, you guys are still doing snake drafts?
We play everyone.
Do auction, then we'll talk.
We play everyone.
Anyways, on to something else, please.
He's not ready for the big boys yet. Not ready.
Who is not ready for the big boys?
Matt, he's not even playing defensive players. You have
Dude.
defensive teams. That's what you're playing. That's
Until
okay.
you guys do an auction draft, do not talk to me.
Please, auction draft. You guys can't even play
Do
defensive
not talk
players.
to me. Sir,
I'm just
sir,
surprised that
you are excused.
I'm
sir.
just surprised that you have Phillip Rivers in your. You chose Phillip Rivers.
Amen. Sometimes
He
you,
must have been cheap.
sometimes you just you give hope to things and you look at
Jamali,
the long
Have you
play.
not seen how much hope Jason's been given?
Jamali, Eli has
Look,
not
he
been.
doesn't have to win.
Jamali,
He just has to have good performances.
Oh yeah, like his interception in the fourth quarter.
That kills me.
Oh okay.
Jamali,
That
you know
pisses me
Eli
off.
hasn't been. Jamali's in our fantasy league. Eli has not been drafted in like 3 or 4 seasons.
Rightfully so.
So what?
There you go.
I'm not gonna draft someone who's gonna give a pick six.
Like you pick him up off the waiver wire if you're desperate because
No.
you got an IR. That's how it works. with
I
a
would
guy
not
like
play
him.
anything at that point. Eli's going to probably give you negative points.
Or he's
if
like
anything.
he's one of those guys who's like a spot starter. You look at like when is the bye? Oh, is he playing a weak team on that bye? You know, one of those like he always has one of those weeks where he just pops up and gives you a 3 touchdown, 0 interception game. You're like, that's the one. You spot start him.
Hey.
We all
Eli
know
got 2
how it
rings
works.
and he
2 rings.
We all know
He
how
could
it
go
works.
comfortably retire. You know, first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean,
You're right.
Really good.
He is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. He played
I really wish he
with
would
a
stop saying
500 record.
Look, we've had this conversation too much.
he's a Hall of Famer.
No, he's
Let's
not.
move on.
He is a Hall of Famer, but not
Do
a
you
first
want to
ballot.
talk about your boy who won the Emmy?
Let me just shout him out. That's all.
Hey man, take the lead on it. It's your homie.
Who? Jerome?
Yeah, man.
No, I mean I think it was a dope. Like he played. Like both you guys haven't seen the actual miniseries.
I've
so.
seen clips.
But I mean, like the last two episodes of those 2 out of 5 was really.
Did you put that on camera? Sorry to cut you off.
No, she's
Oh,
not
you
on camera.
suck.
Put it on camera now.
No, they can hear
Put it
you.
on
Go.
camera, Jason. If you're gonna do it in front of me, you're gonna put it on camera so the fans know why I go. Ugh. Cute.
Anyways.
Yeah,
It,
right.
that better have been on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the people to know what you do behind the scenes.
Why would you want his personal life on camera? Golly.
Because we can. Have some fun, Jamali. Jesus. Go
Not
on.
at
You were
his
saying
expense.
Jarrell Jerome.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I think, like, his performance was stellar. Like, and, you know, I think it's well deserved being, you know, the youngest first Afro Latino to ever win.
Yeah. And
In
the
the leading
youngest person to win the award as well.
The youngest?
Youngest person ever to win the
Period?
award.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So, yeah, man, just shout out to him, man.
Yeah, man.
And you should watch the friggin' series.
You know what? Because you won't shut the fuck up about it, when I'm done Top Boy, I'll watch it.
Oh, you're going to watch Top Boy, a bunch of...
Yo, of course!
Oh,
Yo, of course!
I haven't
What?
started- I haven't started it yet.
Yo, but you have at least seen like the first 2 seasons,
Yeah,
right?
I've seen it.
All right, then. Yo, don't get on me. Dog, it's Top Boy.
But you should have watched when the CS came out like 4 months ago.
Yeah, but it's Top Boy.
Um,
Yo, from time they announced that they was coming back, I had to see it.
I don't know any of these shows.
You don't know Top Boy?
No.
Yo, it's basically like the UK's The Wire.
yeah, pretty much.
The UK is The Wire.
Yeah, like it's sick.
It's pretty.
I'll give it a
It's
chance.
fucking sick, man.
It's
Let me
pretty
watch.
good.
And like it's on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Okay.
Start with Top Boy Summer House. That's like the first 2 seasons. And then the new season, Top Boy, even though it's called season 1, it's technically season 3.
Yeah.
But it's like the season 1 and season 2 are 4 episodes each, hour each. So it's like you can knock it out literally in a night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take the
Or
weekend,
an
you know,
evening.
you and Christina, you pop some popcorn, you know, have some tequila on decky.
Christina
Let's watch
doesn't
some
like.
Top Boy.
Christina doesn't like those violent stuff. I can't
It's
watch.
not really super violent. It's more just like,
Violent.
No, what I mean, like she would not watch The Boys or anything like that.
well, no, it's not The Boys.
It's not the boys, bro.
It's definitely not The Boys. But like, there's like scenes of like gangster shit, but it's like even less. I would say it's less violent than Power
Yeah.
because it's more of the politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like you're gonna get a scene of a guy getting shot here and there, or like a fight scene here or there, but it's not like blood and gore and all that shit.
Shoot
No.
him.
Where the food?
I'll give it a chance. We'll see how it goes.
It's a
Watch
good
the first
show.
episode and then go from there, man. Like what else? But yeah, when I'm done Top Boy, I'll watch it for you because you will not shut up about it.
No, but I really think it's a great point for conversation, and especially that we're 3 young black males. I think we should have had the
Well,
conversation.
I have told you many a time we can have the conversation. Just take the lead, and you don't want to.
Bro, I want you to watch the film because I don't want it. Because I mean, we could have a conversation about this. It happens all the time. especially in Florida. Did you see the one in Florida where the 3-year-old got arrested for throwing a tent?
No, the 6-year-old.
6-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, temper tantrum in school and gets arrested and thrown into juvie. Like, what? Like, since when do we do that to children because they're having a temper tantrum, man?
It's crazy.
Yo,
Since Florida.
You literally tell them, get out the class, sit outside in front of the door, and you come back in when you're done, you're kicking and screaming.
Police has to get involved.
Like, what?
In at such a low level.
Police should have never been involved.
You should not be a teacher.
Like, police should have never been involved in that type of situation. I'm sorry.
Like, it's crazy to me.
But before we leap away from the Emmy talk, why do we still have award shows?
I didn't even know the Emmys was on. So
I had no idea they were on.
No idea it was on.
I was watching football. It was only the following day, the Monday, that like I saw all the clips floating on Twitter and Facebook and everything. I was like, no idea, like zero advertising whatsoever about it. Like, I knew like they were going to happen, obviously, because they happen every year. But I feel like they need to like change the whole system in which they do award shows now.
Shouldn't be award shows. There's too much glitz and glams for no one to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, like you said, Twitter. I just saw Emmy Awards, and just
no, literally, that's,
did not
and the
care.
thing too about it's like, I mean, all I really need is a list of who won.
Pretty much,
you know, because what essentially are award shows now? It's like it's the red carpet fashion show. It's asking these actors how was their experience doing the show or the movie or
the same question
or the Broadway. It's like, yeah, it's literally the same question and it's always the same answers. Oh, I had a wonderful time working with this, a wonderful time doing that. Oh, I'm wearing this person. They did a wonderful job on my gown or my. It's like it's the same shit over and over, and then it's people just saying this fit looked good, this fit looks shit. Like, why the fuck? Why are we wasting our time with award shows now?
It's to give TMZ some money, so they can talk about shit. That's all.
Because it was the lowest rated that they've had since last year's lowest rated. No award show as of late has been able to peak whatever is the better thing that's on TV. And guess what? The better thing that's on TV is whatever you're streaming.
Exactly. That's the
because
whole point.
People don't like. Everybody's cutting their cord from from cable now.
But that's the thing. Everyone want like the Oscars. No one pays attention to that because, honestly, let's be honest. Avengers Endgame is the best movie within the last. Who cares? Within the last 10 years.
Commercially, yes.
Commercially, even performances, and even if you don't like superhero movies or anything like that, come on, like that movie was the biggest thing we've seen. If Avatar,
especially when you talk about a movie like Endgame, it's the whole feat of the 10 years of the build up towards it and the accomplishment of what it is.
Yeah,
you know, like that's what grandstands it essentially.
Because if you're gonna give Avatar a stupid movie about blue aliens and the cowboys and Indian stories that we've seen many times, awards like
Dance with Wolves.
I'm sorry, no, come on.
It was a movie we've seen 1,000 times over.
Yeah, same thing as
Pocahontas.
It's Pocahontas.
Just it was like taller Smurfs doing the Pocahontas story with like a Dance with Wolves backplot. That's literally what Avatar was.
It's garbage, hot garbage.
Horrible movie. The technology though. Incredible technology.
What, to go blind your eyes in 3D again?
Hey, that's what they knew the movie as far as the plot went was so shit that all of their marketing went towards focusing on the graphics, the technology that they're using to do the face capture and how this is like state of the art cameras that they're using that you have to watch it in IMAX.
It was worthless.
Bolstered it so that people would watch in IMAX. And then when you did, you're like, yo, this movie actually is kind of whack.
You know what's a better movie in 3D compared to that? Tron.
Tron was incredible.
Tron in 3D, when I went to see in 3D, it's day and night compared to Avatar.
Yeah, no, like
it's ridiculous.
Tron, and thanks to this Emmy talk, we're on a bit of a tangent, but yeah, Tron in general, just I felt that if we want to talk about the technology used and just a top to bottom, well scripted, well cinematographed, using your technology properly, where it's like you don't overextend, you use it when it's necessary.
And that's the thing that frustrates me. Like, you had Daft Punk do the original album for that. They didn't win anything.
Incredible.
That the whole movie was top down, visually amazing. But you have stupid movies like that other one that came out last week that might win something and it's absolute shit.
Which?
Ad Astra.
Oh, the one with Brad Pitt?
Yeah. He's the worst actor of all time. He's
Well, I'm gonna
the
say
worst
Whoa,
actor
not
of
all
all time.
time, bro.
You know
now
what he
you're
is?
Exaggerating.
He's a movie version of a soap opera actor. That's what he is. Because there's no. That's what he is. That's what he is.
Nah, Brad Pitt.
Tell me another movie other than Fight Club that he's actually you remember him perfect for, and not Inglourious Bastards. Because
No,
that was
I was literally gonna say the last movie that he did with Tarantino,
Which one was that?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's actually incredible.
But
in
you
that
see,
movie.
no one knows these movies. I'm like,
Everybody knows Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
please, that's no.
How do no, like
Him, Brad Pitt.
everybody's been talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's not like it's Tarantino, man. Like that's not a movie that gets swept under the rug.
Listen, Brad Pitt, George Clooney. These are soap opera actors in movies. That's what they are. They're terrible actors. Terrible.
Can we
Everybody,
move on to something else, please. Thank you.
I'm just saying.
hey, what's wrong?
Jamari
Is she
can't
mad at you?
relate.
Are you taking out on us?
What are you talking about?
Like looking back at me.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, you're very quick to hide your phone, considering you want to know what you're talking about, bro.
Because Jason be looking over my shoulder. Inappropriate.
He's not, he's focusing on his job, making sure the camera angles are nice.
Yeah, sure.
You're the only one who's like dead set on whatever's happening, whichever one's on your case right now.
I'm monitoring the Facebook group.
Hmm?
I'm monitoring the Facebook group.
Yeah, okay.
I am.
Which one? The one with all three of them in it? You're braver than me, bro.
You're funny.
All right, let's move on to Stop Snitching, Stop Lying, Tekashi. I don't want Jamali to start this off because
Stop me. I have nothing to say about Tekashi.
I'm not saying about Tekashi, but he called out your boy Jones.
Look, we just got to start at the top where
He didn't.
we just do a little bit of revisionist history and remind our loyal viewers and listeners that we said this was going to happen.
For sure.
We said it was either the people that he is beefing with are going to catch him, or it's going to be an issue where the police are going to get on him because of all the blatant criminal shit he's just putting out there and
Yep.
all the aggression that he's showing in neighborhoods that he shouldn't be doing it. And you know what? None of this is shocking. We told you what would happen. And look how it unfolds.
Dude, snitching on everybody.
Pulling a Nino Brown.
Bro.
Oh yeah, he's past Nino Brown.
Bro,
he's
no.
past Nino
He's
Brown.
not past. Bro,
Yeah, he is.
He's not even worse than
The
Sammy
man
the Bull.
is singing like a canary in
Bro,
a mine. Okay?
Sammy
He
the
is
Bull snitched worse than he did.
singing.
Bro, get out of here.
This dude calling out Cardi B.
He went down the list of every 9 Trey blood that is out there, known and confirmed.
Pointing at people in
I don't know, but,
in the-
but confirm. I mean,
Hey,
people make
hey,
claims, bro.
Hey.
I'm not a blood member, so I don't know who's
Hey.
who. I'm not a member of that, so I wouldn't know who's who.
Well, I don't know who's who either.
Yeah.
But if we let Tekashi tell it, a lot more people are in 9 Trays than I knew existed.
Martha Stewart.
Then, yo, but Martha never snitched.
You know what I'm saying? She never did.
You know, she took her time like a real OG would.
Hey, this dude was pointing in court.
He wasn't pointing.
This dude was pointing in court.
But like, I don't know why this is such a hilarious thing.
It's not that it's hilarious; is that it was completely predictable. And if anybody's shocked by it, I mean,
No,
You remember what?
Like, come on, man.
remember what? What's his name said? Fat Joe said this dude can't come around here anymore because he knew exactly what was gonna happen.
of course,
He knew exactly what was gonna happen.
bro. You think some of these guys, like even with the Jim Jones thing, I don't think Jim Jones. I hope he didn't snitch or he's not an informant. But a lot of these guys snitch. 50's a snitch based on what, the streets are saying. I'm sure Joe snitched as well. You know what I mean? Like, people snitch. And I mean, when you have a 20, how old is he? 21, 22?
something like that.
And you get accepted. They literally use your innocence or your naivety to literally bankroll their gang activity. Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
I mean, I look at it more on the side of
They should have known he was gonna snitch.
I look at it like, yeah, the gang saw a quick buck could be made through this guy if they just gave him the career, pushed him forward, let him make the songs, make the videos, be like the visibility to just bring in what they need, which was revenue. But for them to not just use him the way they wanted to use him, get the money off of him, let him just be that loud rapper, but to actually bring him around all the shit, that's just dumb as fuck. And I mean, like, if like you're part of this gang, you know this person is not a part of that life. He didn't come up with you guys. He literally came to them and was like, yo, this is what I want to do. This is how I feel like you can help me get to this position.
Pretty much.
Let's just work together, make money, boom, let's do it. And they're like, all right, cool. At that point, you just keep it business. But you don't literally have them in the lifestyle.
Nope.
Like, it makes absolutely no sense if you are seasoned gangsters to do something like that. And to me, it's like, that's the point where it's like all this shit that's happening. And from what we were talking about last summer, about like the videos that were coming out, the people that were in the videos that are part of the gang that are like showing off with him, and just them allowing things to escalate the way they did, we predicted the path that could go of this, because you're not protecting your energy. You're not protecting what you're bringing into your life, or at least evaluating what you're bringing into your life. And once you bring that bad energy into it, bad shit will happen.
It'll happen for sure.
Happened to, what's his face? XXX Tentacion, whatever his name. Can't remember his name.
And unfortunately, in his case, he got killed.
That's the thing.
You know, it's like there's too many examples that we've seen, not just here. Like, you go back to the 80s, and it's like we've seen these things happen. We've seen how the progression goes. And that's why now him sitting on the stand, saying names, saying basically everything the gang did, down to having a volunteer come and demonstrate the handshake with him. Like, none of this shit is shocking because of who he was, who he became for this persona, for this imagery of the rap game that he wanted to be a part of, and then the people who allowed him in their circle. Like, none of it's shocking.
Well, I just wanted to the point Jamal is like looking at some cooking video. He's on Twitter.
Master Chef?
No.
No, he's not Master Chef.
I already see who won, so I don't even feel like watching it anymore.
That finished already, though.
Yeah, last week.
Stay on topic, guys. Well, we could get to Master Chef.
No, but Tekashi snitching, man. It's like, I was just like, well, as soon as he started, I wanted to see who he was snitching on. And when I saw it was Jim Jones and Cardi B, I'm like, huh.
Well, he didn't fully snitch on them. He made mention of them. And basically said that they're 9 Trey Bloods.
That's still snitching. And when they had that recording of Jim Jones with other dude saying dude needs to get violated, I was like, wow, these dudes are not playing. Tekashi is on.
The phones are tapped, people.
Tekashi has to look out for the rest of his life if he gets out.
No,
if he gets out,
in protective custody, man. Like, they're not going to get to him.
I don't think. What I mean, like, what are you gonna do to a guy like him?
What are you saying? The Epstein dude who killed himself. People still claiming that he didn't kill himself.
They got to him.
Yeah, they got to him, and there was a good reason for them to get to him.
There were a lot of billionaires
that was about to get their shit exposed.
There was no way. Like, from the moment they arrested him, I knew right then and there, it's done.
He's gonna die?
Yeah, he was gonna die for sure.
He was in the most protective, isolated situation where suicide is literally impossible, and he committed suicide.
And both guard was supposedly sleeping?
Yeah. Like, come on.
We don't believe you.
Come on.
But it's still going on. Because
the people,
the women,
the people who accuse them, they still want their child because they still have information on many other people who were involved in the sex trafficking ring. So
boy, they're all going to jail. What's his name? And but yeah. Speaking of, we can go to the next topic. What's his name? Antonio Brown. Just real quick.
Yeah,
real quick on Antonio Brown.
Where do you want to start with Antonio Brown?
CTE. Perfect. Vontaze Perfect knocking some sense into him back. Was it 2 years now?
Oh, he didn't knock sense into him.
Knock it out of him. And
Bro, I don't see why this is a laughable thing.
It's
Why is
laughable.
everything so serious with you?
No, but it's not laughable.
I can chuckle. Okay? Okay? Thank you. Yeah, he got his senses.
Oh man.
Nah. He. This dude is just messing up one step after the other, and it's just too much.
The only thing that
It's way
that
too
really
much.
gets me, like, obviously, like, people are talking about the fact that he fucked up 40 million. You know, like, 2 situations where he literally just couldn't stay off his phone till Monday to get his guaranteed money before he basically shits in his own pants and fucks up his own money. But the one thing of all this shit that's been going on is the fact that you have, you know, the second accuser comes out and this guy is literally in his group text telling his team, who the girl who accused him is still in this group text, saying how, oh, we have to get shit on her. We got to get her to, like, essentially get off my back. And he's sending pictures of, like, her kids, calling her broke and all this shit while she's in the group chat. Like, this is clearly a guy who is beyond intelligence to a level that we haven't seen before. Just how stupid could you be that in every single place where it's like, all you have to do is shut your mouth and things can possibly go better for you.
That CTE is
He just
strong.
won't stay off his fucking phone and keeps putting his fucking foot in it.
That CTE is strong.
It's ridiculous, man.
And if anyone doesn't know, this is the whole hit where he had with Vontaze Burfict in the playoffs, like,
In 2016.
Yeah, 2016, 2017. And that was fucked.
They're saying
up.
that hit that he took that essentially, like, knocked him out, big concussion in the game. Like, they're saying in 2016, from that point on is when
They start to watch
the change, the change in his attitude, his interaction with people, like this new, like, egotistical, self-defecating person came to be, was like after this hit. I mean, if it is, it is. But at the same time, you look at a guy who has a team around him, should have a publicist, probably doesn't, considering how stupid he has been on his social medias and within his personal life
His
alone.
agent is a joke, and he's supposed to be the biggest agent in NFL, but he's a joke.
But you know what? His
What
agent essentially did his job as far as getting him contracts and putting him in a position where he could succeed. His agent did that. But as his agent, it's not his job to babysit him either.
Yeah, but they remember? I just think it's dumb. Like, an agent should have, like, listen, Antonio, you're not going to go anywhere else. And if you keep this up, like, going to the Patriots is not. It's going to be
that's
even
what
worse.
I mean. Like, I can literally look at you and say, Jason, don't jump off this balcony, because if you do, you're going to hurt yourself. And you say, you know what, you're right, I'm not going to do that. And then the second I turn my back, you fucking jump. Like, if I tell you, don't fucking text on this date, when this date comes, your guaranteed money will be in your account. All you have to do, stay off your phone, show up to OTAs, show up to practice, show up to the games, be a model football player till this date, and your guaranteed money is yours. And you literally, each time, a couple days, like literally 3 days before, send out fucking tweets and messages to
crazy.
fuck yourself. Like, in both cases, it was like 2 to 3 days prior.
This dude had guaranteed 30-something million and lost all of it. I'm like,
Because even with
wow.
the Patriots cutting him, they were gonna give him the guaranteed money. He got cut on the Friday. I think he sent out the tweets the Saturday after he had on the Friday was like, you know, thanks Patriots for giving me a chance. You know, hope you guys go out there and win it. Then Saturday morning, he's sending out these fucking tweets talking about Robert Kraft, talking about Roethlisberger, talking about Shannon Sharp. Voided his contract on his guaranteed money.
You know, Robert Kraft is a hypocrite too, because he's caught up in that whole sex slave thing
But
too.
no,
And,
he's
like,
not a hypocrite in this.
Well, I'm just
If in your contract it says these are the guidelines towards you getting your guaranteed money, and you don't respect the guidelines to get your guaranteed money, he is following the contract. It's that simple. So for Antonio Brown to be like, oh, they could take your guaranteed money away. Yeah, they can, because you're not respecting what's in the contract.
I'm just saying.
But the thing is, this is my whole take on all of this. acquired his talent knowing who he was previously. Like, it wasn't like he was doing something fucked up, 3 seasons ago. Bro, like a week before he ended up with the Patriots, well, maybe more than a week, maybe like about a month, he came in on the first day of training camp in a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was doing...
And understand.
And then he complains that he can't get the right helmet when there's like an option.
The fix was in, man. He wanted to go to the Patriots from the whole time.
No, but hold on, because this is the whole premise of all of this is if he really is suffering from some sort of brain damage due to the hits that he has been getting or gotten, like, I think there is a level of responsibility on the NFL to. Obviously, I know they're not going to take ownership of it, but like that hit that he took was a serious fucking hit, and we know that those type of hits could change someone, even in their behavioral aspects, right? Mm-hmm. So to just say like, oh, he's just an asshole, he's this, he's that, it's an easy way out for the NFL, and it's an easy way out for us to sort of be like, okay, well, yeah, that's just him as a character. He was in the league how many years before 2000s that hit with no incidents?
I think 4 seasons?
But with no incident.
I don't think he always had
with that, even if that hit changed him, even if now that hit happens and he becomes this person.
Right.
It's not the NFL's job to say we have to change our rules and guidelines because this hit changed him as a person.
No, I'm sure he's not the only one.
No, of course, but if they put stipulations in your contract to say, hey, just follow this and we will have absolutely no issue with you, and you can't even follow the minimum requirements of the guidelines to get the things you need to keep them off your back.
Right.
How is that on the NFL?
Okay, so let me put this in another way, because it's easy to say it's not on the NFL. It's the same way if you take somebody who, let's say, was like in America, for example, we'll stay there. And we'll say black men who go to jail for drugs. They get a felony. They can't get a job. You send them back to the same community where selling drugs is the only option. And then we're going to turn around and say, oh, it's fucked up. They don't give people a fair shot.
I don't think this is the same.
It is the same thing.
It's a false equivalency.
No. Hold on. Let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
I think it's up to them to, when you get like that level of a hit, there must be, it's on the NFL, whether they're going to, as an organization or the team ownership has to take the right precaution to have him properly evaluated, not just on the basis of whether he could play football again and at a level that they want him to play, but understand what that impact did, how it changed that person. It is, you can't say the NFL is not responsible.
I don't think they're responsible in that situation at all.
They're not?
No.
Okay.
Because when you play this game, you go into it knowing you can contain severe injury, such as CTE,
right?
Such as breaking a limb. You can potentially die out there. You go into it knowing this.
I have a different...
You sign your contract knowing that there is zero liability if you sustain that type of injury to the NFL.
No,
it's not the NFL. No, it's not. Because when you sign the contract, you were signing that, yes, if this happens, I cannot then look at the NFL and blame them.
Listen, it's not a blame game, because it's not the NFL fault why he got hit. That's not what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you, as an organization, they need to step up, acknowledge that this shit exists, acknowledge that there is people who suffer from after having multiple concussion, that there is behavioral issues, that they are not the same individuals because of these hits, and have a structure within their organization that assists these people, and a proper evaluation, not whether you could still go out there and be a fucking show horse and make me millions of dollars, but make sure that you also could have a decent life thereafter. And if they realize like you get hit, you're more aggressive, you're more this, you're more that, be like, yo, maybe we should get this guy some help.
But you know what? All those options that you're talking about are available within the NFL. Especially when the whole concussion conversations came into play in CTE.
Right.
They put all these things that you're saying into action for these players. But if these players don't if these players don't go and get the help, what is the NFL to do?
Bro, how many players, and we know this for a fact, have gotten serious concussion and they were then put back on the field to play.
That's the point I wanted to make.
And we know that's happened. And guess what? That's a situation that we've seen teams get fined for when they've done that.
Fine. Who the fuck made that decision should be fired and charged?
I'm not arguing with you on that. But
that's a structural issue.
But to say that's the NFL's fault,
that's a structural issue.
If a coach is seeing somebody has a serious concussion, or if the doctor sees a person has a concussion and they don't literally say they can't go out there, that's on the doctor who did the assessment.
That should be us.
And those doctors do not let them go out. When they see they're concussed, they do not let them go out.
No, but this is the thing I wanted to bring. What Jamali's saying, that I wouldn't necessarily put blame on the NFL.
It's not a blame.
No, but it's more
it's
the team.
It's a responsibility.
The responsibility, I think, goes more with the team than the actual NFL itself, the individual team. So, for example,
it goes to the team doctors, it goes to the coaching staff, it goes to the trainers, the ones who look at them and assess their health. But it's not the NFL.
The reason why I'm saying it's the NFL, because it's an organization. If you start doing that, certain teams are going to have shortcut. The standards are not going to be the same, and you want it to be uniform. So you have to go from the head. You can't just be like, oh, it's up to the team to put together some shit. No, the NFL as an organization.
No, the NFL has a policy in place, and sticking it with concussions. If a guy we see clearly gets hit in a way that they're concussed, they go into that dark room, and then we saw they were knocked out, and they come back out. There's going to be a lot of questions raised about why that doctor let them back out when we saw them knocked out.
Bro, you see, that was an example I gave you. I'm talking about there's a football aspect to the individual. I'm talking about their personal behavior. It's not whether they're capable of playing football, catching a ball again. But we know when you get hit in your head, your behavior could change.
So what you're saying, like off-field things?
Just get a good evaluation of this person. Their temperament, have that change. Like, these things they have to be responsible for that. You can't say they're not. Like, they didn't sign up to put their body on the line to be, like, it's a sport. It's everybody enjoy them when it's good for business. And the moment they're no longer good for business because they got damage on the field, hey, he's a dickhead.
I disagree, man, because the NFL is, in your sense, reliable for them when they're on the field. They have to make sure that they have things in place to protect their players when they're on the field, in their practices, things of that nature. When they are off the field, the player is responsible for themselves.
Right. But doesn't the NFL and most leagues own the likeness of the person when they're off the field? Because if that's the case, a bunch of shit these guys do off the field shouldn't interfere whether they play between those lines, bro.
There's personal conduct policies that are put in place so that if you do things that are bad to the brand, but that means you are responsible for yourself off the field.
Right. You're responsible. But that's the whole point. The onus off the field is on the players to make sure that the NFL looks good at all times. But their actual being and enjoying life off after football or when they're on their off season, the NFL has no responsibility for that. That's very one-sided. That's very one-sided.
Yes, but they don't.
And that's something to me, like,
it may bother you, but it's literally in the writing of their contracts itself.
Right.
That's why when you go into this violent sport, there's no surprises with these players when it comes to these things.
Right.
They go out there knowing that these are the possibilities that can come.
Right.
Playing this sport.
Right.
So for us to sit here and say like, oh, the NFL has to be responsible from outside. No, it's not.
Yeah, they should, because you know what? Same thing for Aaron Hernandez. I think he's been having violent behavior since his days in college in Florida. They brought him on. They know there was something wrong. You cannot tell me that these coaches, these people who they're around all the time, doctors who are supposed to be the best that the country could offer, is not aware of people's behavior changing. That's bullshit. These guys are literally put out there like show horses, and when they're no longer good, they take them behind the barn and they put a bullet in their head. That's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing, and that's fucked up.
It may be fucked up, but that's what it is.
You know what? It's amazing how, like, as a society, we want things to change for the better, but then it's sort of like, oh, that's how it is. You can't have that mindset.
But I'm not complaining about this.
But you're saying it's not their
No,
responsibility.
I'm saying if you sign up to play this violent sport knowing that you can literally fuck up your mental from taking these type of hits, and you still go out there and do it, that is the risk you are willing to take. It's like people who do these extreme sports knowing that there's a good chance they can take a bad landing or equipment can fail and they could possibly die.
Absolutely.
Those are the risks you are willing to take.
I think
and there's a risk that the ownership and the organization should take, that if these people between their lines are playing and they're badly hurt, they're responsible. There has to be a shared responsibility, Matthew.
I think
you can't sit here and say that there shouldn't be.
They protect them with their policies when they're on the field. But when you're off the field, it is not their responsibility.
So something happened to them on the field and it affects their off the field life. It's not the NFL's problem.
No, they'll have like medical systems put in place for them to get them healthy again. You see it happen all the time.
Healthy enough to play football, bro. I'm talking about healthy enough to live.
That's a liability that you put in when you play the sport, bro.
You guys are crazy. What are you saying, Jason?
No,
come on.
What I'm saying is that I understand where Jamal is coming from. He's understanding that within the game, you could sign up, you're going to get hurt. But it doesn't mean that you could sign up and be a vegetable, and a team and a league can keep putting you in that situation where you become a vegetable. So if you're going to get hurt, I understand you get hurt, whatever. Something could happen in football, you can get hurt, whatever. However, if a team continues to put you in a situation where you're continuously getting hurt and getting fucked up and they're not doing anything, that's a responsibility by the league because they should know better.
But when do we see that happen?
We see it all the time.
All the time.
We see it all the time.
Every time you step on that field, you can end up a fucking vegetable.
No,
we know
but
this.
you can. But if you get a concussion, would you seriously bring them out? Okay, they get another concussion.
No, we were just having the same conversation about Jordan Reed, a guy I think should fucking retire because every time he gets a hit, he's out like a light.
But the NFL keeps allowing.
Point.
But if he keeps going back out there,
because they can make money off him.
Hey, if he is saying he wants to go out there, if he is medically cleared and he's saying I'm going to go back out there, that's on him.
But do you see
guess what? Andrew Luck didn't have that type of injury, but he said, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm done.
But you see,
how am I wiling?
Listen,
he's the one who's wiling if he keeps going back out there, knowing he keeps getting fucking concussions every time he gets a hit. How's that on it? On the NFL?
But that's what
there need to be responsibility. You think if, for example, if they were able to get sued, if the family of the victims of Hernandez could put together a lawsuit and sue the NFL, you would see how fast they will then start take shit seriously. You would see how fast they
Hernandez who murdered people
because of injuries that he had that the NFL ignored. And they ignore a lot of bullshit, bro. You think there's not a shit that's gonna come out? But Antonio Brown.
So you're saying Aaron Hernandez's gangster life and murdering people was because of his head injuries?
That the NFL, you don't think they knew about his behavior before that and his affiliation? But because on Sunday, he's going to come, win games, generate money, they'll put a blind eye to it. They would. You think the Steelers don't know about
I don't think you can make a case that his like possible CTE is the reason he was committing crimes behind the scenes.
I think it's possible.
It is possible. I think it's crazy, possible. Bro.
I think it's highly possible.
Especially if you're saying he's been doing it since college.
He's been getting
injured since
college.
If you're saying the illegal, no, you're saying the behavior of Aaron Hernandez and the shit he was doing was back in college.
Yes.
How is that on the NFL now?
They draft him.
You can't listen.
NCAA has zero liability on this. Is what you're saying.
They do, but they do. But I'm just saying, you draft somebody to play in your league, you have to have some level of responsibility. This is not a one-sided deal, bro. It's supposed to be bilateral.
No.
That you can't say that, because if that's the case, we could argue the same thing. As much as you don't agree with my analogy, it's the same thing as saying
it's like saying your job should be held liable because you did something illegal outside of your job, but because they saw you acting erratically, it's their fault.
No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying,
or they knew that.
What I'm saying to you is science. There's enough backing in science to know when you suffer massive head injury that this could change somebody's behavior.
Yeah.
Right? And therefore, when someone gets concussed, like we see NFL players do all the time, the NFL should have systems or structures in place to monitor these people's temperament and how their behavior change because they know them previously. It's not like these guys just show up on a Sunday and they suit up and then they go play and they're like, oh, I never seen this guy before. Where did he come from? They know these things. These guys go to medical examination for one thing only, whether they could perform on Sunday. Yeah. That's it. They're not animals,
the argument you're making is it's like if I were to say, the WWE is liable for what Chris Benoit did to his family.
Of course they should be held liable.
No.
They should.
Well, that was the case with if you're going to WWE now, what happened was
I don't agree.
Well, that it's proven that industry was rampant with opioids, performance enhancement drugs, and stuff like that. Things, and in his case, they said he had brain damage. All those headbutts.
The NFL is responsible for that shit because it's the same. Then you know what? If the NFL is not responsible, I don't want to hear you argue ever again that black people get put into situations because it's systematic. Because it's the same shit. When a black man commit a crime, can't get a job, but he has no choice but to live in the hood, there's a likelihood that he's going to be able to commit the same crime over and over. They're put in a position to be disadvantaged.
That's your argument.
That is, no, but I'm saying it is a sensible argument. They're not given a chance.
Essentially what John Molly's trying to say is that the NFL is putting them in a bad position.
Trying to say. I just don't agree.
If you don't, that's fine. If you don't agree.
I'm not saying for you to agree, but it's crazy. Like, that's to me is nuts. Like, the NFL need to be held liable for some of these behaviors.
My thing with the NFL,
they treat these guys like show horses.
My thing with the NFL is if you're gonna, I understand you get hurt. I always understand you can get hurt in NFL. However, if you put them in a situation where you know they're gonna get hurt again and continuously get hurt, then you're responsible for their well-being. You're always responsible for their well-being. First time you get hurt, cool. Jordan Reed. If you guys are continuing to allow him to play football in your league, you're responsible for him at this point, especially when you know what's going to happen to him. And he's not in the right sense of mind to make a judgment to say, oh, yeah, the team's going to profit off him. But is he in sound mind to make a judgment, say, I don't want to play anymore?
Bro, pretty much what Matthew's agreeing that their policy of treating these players like show horses is tolerable.
What they signed up for.
Are they in the right mind that they signed? Like, did they sign up for the right thing in the right mind?
I'm not in the position to say if they're in the right mind or not. I'm just saying what they signed up for.
But you see, that's what the league.
That's like saying like the people who signed up for the military, when they go out there and they come back and they suffer from PTSD, that the government shouldn't have in place a system to help them readjust to society.
Look, they should. But you go
out there. So
why can't
you say the NFL should?
I didn't say they shouldn't. But you go in knowing what can happen is what I'm saying.
But you don't think
if the NFL decides to make a policy, great, that'd be amazing. Or if they do something beyond, that'd be great. But
should they or should they not?
If you get medically cleared and you decide to go back out there, that is your decision.
But should the NFL have a protocol or a system to make sure that these guys behave?
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Okay.
No, but my thing is like, once you sign up to go, are you in the right state of mind to sign up for this? That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
Let the doctor decide that.
But that's the thing. The doctors are being responsible.
Who does the doctor work for?
The doctor works for the NFL.
Your own private doctor then. Like, their job is to say, hey, are you good to go? You were medically cleared? Do you want a second opinion? Go get a second opinion.
That's crazy to me.
But you see, this is the problem.
Until something bad happened and they get sued.
No, let me say this. This is the problem now.
When Frazier went down, that was something bad.
And this dude said he wants to make a comeback. But
but he's the one who wants to make a comeback. Yeah, I don't think he should.
Yeah, but the NFL said, "Oh, come back if you want."
There you go.
Why wouldn't they?
Dude nearly died on your football field, and you want him back to try and die again? That's bad for business.
If he makes a full recovery and gets back on the field, that is his decision.
Nah. You got to stop him.
You have to have some level.
You got to stop him.
You have to have some level of humanity.
Look,
to be like, bro, you're killing yourself.
That's a beautiful, wonderful thing in a perfect world.
That's not a perfect world, bro.
If he makes a full recovery and he decides of his own attrition to come back, go. I'm not going to stop you.
The NFL should be like, no, sorry, we're
He's
not.
He's a grown ass man. He can make his own decision.
Until death, and like that's my point. Until somebody get enough evidence to go to court and bring the NFL to the courtroom and sue them and win, then we're gonna have it's gonna be a
It's gonna
different
take-
conversation.
Unfortunately, it's going to take someone dying on the field
Bro,
and getting
the
sued
NFL
for it to happen.
The NFL knew about CTE almost 2 decades and never said shit, bro. How do they have the best interest of these players?
Who said they did?
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to.
Your job should have your best interest at heart, Matthew.
You're not going to.
What your job should.
We are having high hopes here.
No, let me ask
The
you.
job looks at us as a number.
So let's say if you work in constructing a building or something like that, and you have shitty equipment, but you have to construct this building on like the 11th floor, and you have to. Are you going to do it?
If I
Yes.
have shitty equipment,
Yes.
no.
Yeah, but you're
If I don't have the proper equipment, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but
But you
you're
don't know it's the proper equipment.
But you
don't
can't
know.
even you can't
You're
even
not the
compare
person
that.
to evaluate that.
You can't even compare that because football, like what the NFL, the NBA, MLB, all these major league sports, what they're doing, they're playing on these poor inner city kids with very low alternative to make a better life for themselves, and they have God-given skill sets, and they use them like friggin' animals, bro. That's all it is. And so you're dealing with someone's passion or something they enjoy, something that they're good at, they excel at, and then obviously, you're dealing with not just like, is it safe for you? It's something they enjoy. So they're gonna take the risk because it's something they enjoy.
This has been sports for damn near ever, especially when it comes to violent sports. This isn't something that's new. It's not something that should even be shocking to anyone.
I'm gonna check. I'm sure the NFL has better policy. The NHL have better policies than the NFL.
Dude, the NHL,
Guaranteed.
majority of players in the NHL have a bit longer of a career. They get paid significantly less than a lot of the people that are in the NFL. But hey,
NHL players get a lot more concussed than football players, though.
that too.
NHL players get.
And I'm sure there are protocols to it. That like Eric Lindros after he tried to
Actually,
make
a lot of the protocols that you're seeing in the NHL now, especially when it comes to concussions, came recently with the things that were happening in the NFL.
But I've seen NHL's teams stop players from playing again. Like, no, you cannot play anymore.
Yeah.
They're like straight. We're
we've seen
stopping
it.
you.
Recently, yeah.
And they make, and that's the thing. That's what the NFL should have because it's like-
you think Eric Lindros at the top of his even if you know how many times he tried to make a comeback, eventually we're like, yo,
Look,
enough is
how
enough.
many times have we seen back in like the 90s a player get hit in the face by a slap shot puck, go in the back, and then come back in the next period?
that's bad.
He got some stitches and can't. Yeah, that's bad. But you don't see that shit happening anymore.
Right, because they're protecting their players. The NFL don't do that.
You're saying the NFL doesn't stop guys from concussions coming back in the game now?
No, they don't. I'm gonna definitely say
When's the
that.
last time you watched?
They don't. They do not.
I see them.
They do not.
I see them go into the protocol a lot, but I do see them come back. So
They
they
do
go into
not.
protocol. They go in NFL. They go into that dark room or whatever. They do the protocol, but a lot of the times they do come back. They do come back out because
And
they're like,
look, if you pass the dark room test,
all
Bro,
I'm saying,
you played football. We both played sports.
we just had a conversation
Right,
about it.
right. You understand that on game day, this is something you build up all week for. Even if you know how many times, oh, bro, I'm good. My ankle is not that bad. You still want to go out and play. Now you put that on a grown man. That's all he does. He's 27, 20,
Jamal,
even younger.
Jamal, you don't have to say it. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the
If
perfect
you
example.
want to go back out
Kevin
there,
Durant is the perfect example.
you make that decision to go back out there. That's on you.
Kevin Durant is the perfect.
That's not on the NFL.
Listen,
That's
Jamal,
not on the NBA.
Kevin-
not on the NHL.
Kevin Durant was the perfect. No,
But that's exactly what I'm saying about my analogy. It's not on society to, hey, you decide to sell drugs again. That's on you. That's your problem. But you don't have an alternative, a system that's there to help you to have different alternatives or different options. Then it's on you. We should.
I think, once again, that's a false equivalency because
it's
if
not.
you are a player that knows you're hurt, you're still going to make your money if you don't go out there.
Bro, so but I'm just saying, if you're a felon and you live in an underserved
False
community,
equivalency.
and you live in an underserved community, you have a felony, you
Jamal,
can't get a
it's
job.
not the same.
It is the same.
It's not
It is the same.
It's not. How are you comparing a player deciding to go back on the field hurt when
Not
they
a-
don't
but
have
you
to
keep- you keep
to
re- but you keep
person
revert-
with a
that's not-
felony going back
that's
to their
not what I'm-
community
that's-
and
you-
committing the same crime?
You know why it's a false equivalency? Because you're equating to bullshit. And that's not what I said. I keep telling
What
you.
am I equating to bullshit? It's what you said.
No, I did not. I said the structure of them getting hurt on the field and their life off the field is impacted by that hit. That's what I'm equating to. Not them going back on the field. That's what I'm equating to. The fact that they get hurt on field, concussions, and it affects their behavior, which affects their personal life and even more so their behavioral aspects. That's what I'm talking about.
What does that have to do with a drug dealer?
A drug dealer? Bro, what does that have to do? What I'm saying is you have to have a measure or some sort of structure to allow somebody to still have options. They're not doing that with these players. These players,
you can't put them in a bad place.
You keep putting them in a bad place over and over.
Keep putting them in the bad place.
What do you expect? That's the same shit,
you can't
bro.
do it.
It's the same exact thing.
It's not.
And then you're gonna say, "Oh, the onus is on the player. The onus is on you." You know, you can't get a job.
It's not the same thing.
It is the same thing. It is.
Really not.
Whatever. We're going in circles. Let's wrap though. we can talk about this for hours though, but we can let's wrap this up. But it was good.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts, Jamali, or anything?
I don't know. I'm just saying we got to hold these leagues to higher standards. And I mean, honestly, if his behavior did change significantly after that hit, I do believe the NFL should take some sort of responsibility, and not responsibility in terms of him, but look into this to see how they could give these guys the proper whatever, if there's therapy, whatever it is, to get them to understand them. Because honestly, yes, it's their choice to go out there and do that, but both parties benefit equally, and the teams and leagues benefit greater from these players than the players themselves.
All right. For me, I just look at it as the same thing of not Colin Kaepernick, but Kevin Durant. The team said he was good to go, and he clearly wasn't good to go. Everyone knew he was good to go.
No, the team said he couldn't injure it any further than what the recovery time would have been.
And they said it wasn't an Achilles, and everyone saw the dude grabbing his Achilles. But that's the thing, the team lying. They put him in a position to believe they didn't give him the right advice.
No, he knew exactly what would happen.
Well, all I'm saying is...
I don't think he did. Because I don't think anybody...
No matter what, he was going to have surgery.
If he had surgery,
I don't think anybody in a logical mindset would put themselves to get hurt like that.
Yeah, I don't think he would get hurt.
You crazy.
Yeah.
You crazy to think that.
My thing in my...
You think he was gonna go and hurt himself?
You say I'm crazy, but yet you're making the argument about players that want to still go back out there and the NFL should be responsible for them.
I'm sure he was forced to go back out there. Kevin Durant didn't go out there on his own will. He was forced.
I'm pretty sure he said, I want to go out there and help my team win.
I don't bullshit.
If that's what he said, then there should have been someone on the team that said, "Nah, you're sitting your ass down."
Bro, you know Kevin Durant didn't do that shit because the first opportunity he got to leave that organization, he left in the most disrespectful way because he felt disrespected. He was forced.
What was disrespectful?
He was forced to go back out there. Those doctors cleared him.
The same guy who was doing a nice little dance before he went out there?
He wasn't doing no dance before he went out
was.
There. Get out of here, bro.
I'll show you the video when we close off these mics.
No.
Whatever the case. Whatever the case.
Come on, bro.
All right. Go on, Matt.
My final thoughts? None, really. I said everything I have to say.
All right, and let's wrap it up.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Don't Be Mad podcast. As always, you know where you can reach us on Twitter and Instagram, Don't Be Mad Pod. And on the Facebook, it's Don't Be Mad podcast.
And the Up For Network, as usual.
I always forget. I'm a scatterbrain.
Yeah, we're on there.
We are a part of the Up For Network. So check out those podcasts on that network. We got some great stuff on there. The Scrum, awesome. Lasers on the Ride, one of my personal favorites on the Up For Network.
Our thing,
Up For Discussion.
You weren't there for the thing, but Jamali and I's thing's gonna come up like in the next, I think, 2 months. We did something with Julian.
Up For Discussion or
Julian.
Scrum.
Yeah. Not necessarily the Scrum, but for Julian though.
Cool.
Should be nice. Next 2 months, you'll hear it.
Yeah, man. All right, so that was this week's episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care, everyone.
We out. Love is love.
Peace.